Hello, good morning. Welcome to Ekate's Crossing. Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. But let's begin with the week ahead reading, starting from Sunday the 3rd of September 2023. So I'm going to use Amanda Hall's Secret Tarot of Secrets. And I've got the Power of Love with James Van Praagh activation card. So let's have a look and see what we get here with the week ahead. So what are we going to focus on this week? What's really important for us this week to really focus on as a collective? Remember, this may or may not resonate with you completely. There may be parts that may give you some fuel for some thoughts. Just take it with whatever it feels for you in the moment. So just focus on what you think is relevant to you and disregard the rest if you wish to. Maybe nothing will resonate with you, and that's okay. This may not be for everybody. This is just a collective energy. When we're talking about collective energy, doesn't necessarily mean for everyone. It is the energy, the general energy that is surrounding everybody globally for the week ahead. So let me have a look. I've got a few cards here that I've got to pick up from the ground. Right. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Interesting. Okay. So what are we going to focus on this week? The first card we've got here is 7 of Wands. So it might be important for you to make sure that you stand up for your convictions. You stand up for what you truly believe in. And, you can be assertive without being aggressive. You don't need to be nasty or anything like that. This just gives you a chance to sort of, the passion that lies within you, to use it, but in a constructive way. It's important that you are constructive when you stand up for what you believe. You do not want to be aggressive or nasty or violent in any way. This is about doing what you feel is right for you in this moment, but doing it with honesty, with integrity, with a sense of authenticity. Super important here when you're standing up for your convictions, standing up for what you believe, that you do it in a just manner. Super, super important here. It's about looking below the illusions. It gives you a chance to actually look below the surface. When you stand up for your convictions, it's really important that you're open to that there are other things below the surface that could be reflective of what's important. To manifest your reality using your skills and your abilities. It's important also to look below the surface. Sometimes we need to be open. Even when we believe something, we stand up for our convictions. We stand up for what we believe in a just manner or in a sense of calmness about it. We can stand up for what we believe and have passion, but we don't have to be nasty about it or anything. But it's also important that we look below the surface to what other people, or to the facts. We might need to look below the surface at the actual facts of what's actually going on here. It's time to actually do that. It's important to look at what are we actually focusing on this week too. Are we so much focused on being right that we're missing the bigger picture here, is what I get with these cards here. Are we so, are we so right in our thoughts and our opinions that we're not open to being able to look at other possibilities here? This gives us a real chance to do some real thinking here, to be able to really be quite analytical in what's going on around us and whatever's happening in a situation that's going on for us. So collectively, are we able to look at things with discernment, with a sense of, are we able to really think very clearly about what we're actually focusing on? Are we so focused on being right that we're missing the bigger picture with what's going on here? you know, are we trying to get our wish fulfilled? Are we trying to have a gain emotionally with what's going on? We're missing the bigger picture behind us. We're not seeing what lies behind us emotionally. You know, we know that life's full of ups and downs. There are, you know, I do feel like there are so many ups and downs in our lives that there, you know, our world turns. Are we ready to sort of go with that flow, or are we stuck in some way? Super important. And here we have the Nine of Wands, this perseverance, this keep going. Our crooked, a lot of times I get this card when people are not seeing the bigger picture. We're seeing things crookedly. We're not quite able to see the full picture because our view is obscured in some way. So quite an interesting reading here when we look at ahead. You know, we've got some battles on our hands, and are we able to, you know, with our convictions, do so with integrity? Are we able to look below the surface at the other possibilities around us? Are we able to sort of focus on not just the negative aspects? You know, we're so focused on being right that we're not seeing what's wrong with it. You know what I mean? So that can be a really important picture here, to be able to see the bigger picture of what's actually going on here. Are we able to analyze each part of this process of what needs to be looked at? Are we able to analyze it? Are we able to see what's going on behind us? Are we so busy in gaining what we want emotionally? Are we forgetting what's going on behind the scenes here? We know that life's got ups and downs. So is that stopping us from making clear decisions? Are we so wound up in what's wrong or in being right that we're not seeing the bigger picture? We're not able to see the earth spinning, that the world spins in a way. We're so, our viewpoint is crooked. You know, we so want to persevere with what we think is right that we're not giving ourselves a chance to see what really is. What an interesting reading for the week at the moment. Very, very interesting. Okay, so let's have a look and see what love's all about. Let's activate some love. So what love card are we going to activate this week? Give us a card. Okay, so I really want to see if I can get a card that, oh, there we go, card that popped out, self-love. And I think you realize that love of self is so important. If you love who you are on a genuine, authentic level, you're able to love another on a real, authentic level. I think that's really important. I want to say that really clearly here. When you love yourself, okay, and I mean truly, genuinely love who you are without being brass about it. Don't be brass about it, but being able to love who you truly are. So when you don't love yourself, that's when you become really, aggressive with other people. So it's really important to have that sense of love. So let's activate that love in many ways. So let me just read this message from the book, because I like to have a look at the message. Now remember, this book is by, the deck is by James Van Praagh. So let's have a read of self-love. Let's take a minute to close our eyes, take a nice deep breath, and this is important. You realize that love of self is necessary to love another. As the old saying goes, you can't love somebody else until you love yourself. It's true. The most important goal you can achieve in the physical dimension is that of loving yourself unconditionally. And it's a tough one. You are the very person who knows your dark secrets, faults, and shortcomings the best. Easy to see the good in other people because you don't know anyone but yourself inside and out. Do you really think that you are the only person who you know who is not worthy of your love? Your soul is perfect. Your human shell is imperfect. And so is everyone else's. The quality of love you give out is only as good as the quality of love you have for yourself. So stop shortchanging the world by not loving yourself with the same intensity you do others. You've made mistakes, but you've learnt from them. That's what progress and spiritual evolution are all about. Love your weaknesses as much as your strengths, because they are your teachers. And when you're able to love yourself, then your focus becomes much more within the light. Now I want to do a second card here with the, oops, I knew that was coming out. Okay, what do we get? Forgiveness. You are now able to activate the power of love in order to release past hurts. Wow. So when you have that self-love, you're able to forgive. So when you love who you are, you're able to forgive yourself and those around you. When you love genuinely, you love on a very authentic level. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not saying that you forget, that you don't acknowledge, but you don't dwell on any things that are going on. So forgiveness. So let's have a look and see what forgiveness has to say. Okay, forgiveness. You are now able to activate the power of love in order to release past hurts. Forgiveness is the cornerstone of love. To be fully aligned with the power of love requires complete forgiveness of self and others. Now, this can be very hard to accomplish because you're letting your ego be in the driver's seat. When you can't forgive, it is the ego holding on to past hurts and the feeling of not being in control. Forgiveness will remove old blockages and causes of emotional distress, allowing love energy to work through you. By forgiving, you are not excusing or condoning a particular behavior. Instead, you are willing to understand the lesson being presented. You are not necessarily obligated to reconcile. Okay, you can forgive and choose not to involve yourself with that person or situation again. The saying forgive and forget is a misnomer for you. Should never forget a lesson. Bless the experience, but also remember what you learned from it. When you forgive, you open yourself up to the positive and loving experiences that the universe wants to bestow upon you. Now there is room for them in the space formerly taken up by babysitting those horrible and toxic feelings. So you understand that so you look at the message that we had from today about looking below the surface. What are you focusing on? Standing up for what you believe is really important, right? And so you can forgive somebody. Okay, you can forgive yourself or forgive somebody else, but it doesn't mean that you forget. Okay? It doesn't mean that when they say, it's a bit of a misnomer. I understand that in regards to forgive and forget, because it's important that you do remember the lesson. You don't allow those people back into your life. They're toxic. Okay? You can say, I forgive you, but I do not want you back into my life. Okay? You are toxic. You are not ready to change. You're not ready to make my life more positive. Okay, so that's why that's important to look at what are you focusing on here, and it's important to acknowledge that. Okay, and we understand there's life's ups and downs. We know there's difficulties. We know there's struggles. We know that there are some people in our life that are toxic, and so this is where it's really important that our view is not skewed. You know, we are able to see things clearly. That yes, you were damaging to my life, but I do not want you back into my life right now. And that's really important. I don't want to give you time and effort. Okay? Those are some things to really think about here. It's a very interesting reading for the week ahead. There's a lot of stuff in there to unpack within ourselves. So we've got to take a moment to sort of sit with it, sit with what I've said, and really sort of reflect on how that affects your life and what's going on globally. Remember, this is a global energy. This is a collective energy. This is not on a personal level, but more on a world viewpoint is what I'm getting here. I'm getting a very strong sort of world view, global type of energy that's going on within the world, and it might affect us in different ways personally. And so being able to self-love could enable us to sort of acknowledge the difficulties globally, but still love who we are, and sort of send out love, that loving energy to everybody, no matter who they are. Let's send all those people love on some level. Let's radiate love to the world for the week ahead. Let's send that love. Let's send the world love. The world is going to receive all of our love. So as you watch this video, take a moment to breathe and just go, I send the world my love. And whoever is ready to receive it will receive the love. Let's send the world the love. For those that need the love, receive the love and the healing. Receive the light. So we're sending the world love. The world is light. The world radiates love. Take a moment to close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose. Hold and out through your mouth. Okay, picture yourself absorbing love and sending out love, radiating love. Absorbing all that love being sent to you and radiating that love out. Absorbing all that light and radiating that light. Absorbing all that healing and radiating all that healing. That's it. Keep breathing, taking your time, and sending all that love out into the world, radiating all that love, receiving all the love, radiating the love, receiving all the light, radiating the light, receiving the healing, radiating the healing. So you want to receive it in, and you want to radiate it out. Radiate the love. And then when you're ready, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and bring yourself back into the world. Let's light. Let's cleanse the energy. So that we can get grounded. Cleansing the energy. Okay, and we're going to bless and consecrate the energy. Bless and consecrate the energy. Whew. Interesting. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care.